10 interesting facts about DC Comics characters. Hey there, superhero enthusiasts. Welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into the world of comics and uncover the secrets behind your favorite characters. If you're a fan of DC Comics, or just love a good superhero story, you're in for a treat. Today, we're exploring 10 fascinating facts about some of the most iconic heroes and villains that you probably didn't know. DC Comics has been shaping the landscape of pop culture for over 80 years, introducing us to legends like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and so many more. These characters have leaped off the pages of comic books and into movies, TV shows, and even our everyday lives through merchandise and collectibles. Their stories have captivated audiences around the globe, transcending generations and bringing people together. But even the biggest fans might be surprised by some of the hidden histories and quirky tidbits behind these legendary figures. So, whether you're a seasoned comic book aficionado or new to the DC universe, stick around. Superman's original powers and weaknesses. First up, let's soar into the skies with the Man of Steel, Superman. We all know him today as nearly invincible, with powers like flight, super strength, heat vision, and more. But did you know that when Superman first appeared in Action Comics #1 in 1938, his abilities were quite modest compared to today? Originally, Superman couldn't fly. That's right, he was only able to leap tall buildings in a single bound, which meant he could jump really far, but actual flight wasn't in his wheelhouse. His strength was impressive but not limitless, and his skin, while tough, wasn't entirely invulnerable. As the years went by, the creators expanded his powers, and by the 1940s, Superman took flight, literally. The change was partly due to the Fleischer Studios animated shorts, where animators found it easier to show Superman flying rather than constantly leaping. The comics embraced this enhancement, and soon, additional powers like heat vision, freeze breath, and super hearing were introduced, turning him into the powerhouse we know today. Enter Kryptonite. Surprisingly, Kryptonite didn't originate in the comics but was first introduced in the 1943 Adventures of Superman radio show. Kryptonite made its comic book debut in 1949, adding a new layer to Superman's stories and providing villains with a means to challenge him. Early use of guns by Batman. Next, let's swing over to Gotham City and talk about the Dark Knight himself, Batman. Known for his strict no-kill policy and aversion to firearms, Batman stands out as a hero who relies on intellect, martial arts, and high-tech gadgets. But did you know that in his early days, Batman wasn't so opposed to wielding guns? In his debut in Detective Comics #27 in 1939, Batman was a much darker character who didn't shy away from using lethal force. In fact, in several early stories, he's depicted carrying and using guns against criminals. There are panels showing him firing at adversaries, even employing machine guns mounted on the Batplane. However, this approach began to change as the character evolved. By 1940, DC Comics editor Whitney Ellsworth implemented a no-kill rule for Batman, steering him away from lethal methods. His tragic backstory, witnessing his parents' murder by a gunman, became the cornerstone of his aversion to firearms. It added depth and complexity, turning him into a symbol of justice tempered by personal trauma. Wonder Woman's creator and the lie detector. Moving on, let's shine the spotlight on the trailblazing Wonder Woman. Did you know that her creator, William Moulton Marston, was not just a comic book writer but also an inventor and psychologist? One of his most significant contributions to science was the development of an early version of the lie detector test. Marston was instrumental in pioneering the systolic blood pressure measurement as a means of detecting deception. His work laid the groundwork for the modern polygraph test. So, how does this connect to Wonder Woman? Well, her famous lasso of truth isn't just a cool gadget. It's a direct reflection of Marston's fascination with truth and honesty. When ensnared by the lasso, anyone is compelled to tell the truth, mirroring the effects of a lie detector. Marston's personal life also influenced Wonder Woman's creation. He was a proponent of feminism and believed in the empowerment of women. Marston envisioned Wonder Woman as a new kind of superhero, one who embodied love, peace, and equality. He wanted to challenge the male-dominated world of comics and provide a strong, compassionate role model for readers. The Flash's multiple alter egos. Ready to sprint into our next fact? Let's talk about the Flash, the fastest man alive. One of the unique aspects of the Flash is that several characters have taken up the mantle over the years, each bringing their own flair to the Scarlet Speedster. It all started with Jay Garrick in 1940, the original Flash, who gained his powers through inhaling hard water vapors. In 1956, DC introduced Barry Allen, a police scientist who gained super speed after a lightning bolt struck his lab, dousing him in chemicals. Barry is perhaps the most well-known Flash and a key figure in the DC universe. Following Barry, Wally West, originally Kid Flash and Barry's sidekick, took over after Barry's apparent death in the Crisis on Infinite Earths storyline. Lastly, there's Bart Allen, Barry's grandson from the future, who became Impulse before eventually becoming the Flash himself for a time. This legacy of speedsters showcases how the mantle of the Flash is passed down, emphasizing themes of heroism across generations. The multiple Flashes have allowed writers to explore different stories and dynamics, enriching the lore and complexity of the character. It's a testament to the idea that anyone can be a hero. Green Lantern's weakness to the color yellow. Now let's light up with the Green Lantern. Known for wielding a powerful ring that can create anything the wearer imagines, the Green Lantern Corps is an intergalactic police force keeping order in the universe. But for a long time, these mighty heroes had a peculiar weakness: the color yellow. This vulnerability was known as the Yellow Impurity. In the comics, the Green Lantern's rings couldn't affect anything colored yellow, which was quite a setback when facing villains who exploited this flaw. It added an intriguing layer to their stories, forcing Green Lanterns to think creatively when confronting challenges involving the color yellow. Well, it was later revealed that the Yellow Impurity was due to Parallax, an ancient entity of fear that was imprisoned within the Green Lantern's central power battery. Fear is represented by the color yellow in the emotional spectrum that fuels the Lantern Corps. This evolution turned a quirky vulnerability into a compelling story about courage and the human and alien capacity to overcome inner demons. Aquaman's evolution from minor hero to powerhouse. Dive deep with us now as we explore Aquaman. For years, Aquaman was often the butt of jokes, considered a less significant member of the Justice League with seemingly limited powers. Talking to fish, anyone? But Aquaman's journey from a minor hero to a formidable powerhouse is truly remarkable. In his early appearances starting in More Fun Comics number 73 in 1941, Aquaman was portrayed as a hero who could breathe underwater and communicate with sea life. While useful, these abilities didn't always translate into compelling storytelling, especially when compared to his more dynamic teammates. The turning point came in the 1990s, when writers began redefining Aquaman's character. Story arcs like the Atlantis Chronicles and Time and Tide delved into the politics and mythology of Atlantis, adding layers to his persona. The New 52 reboot in 2011 further revitalized Aquaman, presenting him as a powerful and respected hero both on land and sea. His trident isn't just for show, it's a weapon of immense magical power. Aquaman's resurgence peaked with his portrayal by Jason Momoa in the DC Extended Universe films. The 2018 Aquaman movie showcased him as a charismatic and formidable hero, smashing any lingering perceptions of him as a lesser character. It's a testament to how creative storytelling and character development can transform public opinion. The legal battle over Shazam's name. Let's turn our attention to Shazam, a hero with a history as electrifying as his powers. Originally known as Captain Marvel, this character has a complicated past involving legal battles and naming rights that eventually led to his rebranding as Shazam. Created by Fawcett Comics in 1939, Captain Marvel quickly became one of the most popular superheroes. However, DC Comics felt that Captain Marvel was too similar to Superman and sued Fawcett Comics for copyright infringement. The legal battle dragged on for years, and by the early 1950s, Fawcett ceased publishing superhero comics, including Captain Marvel. Fast forward to 1972, DC Comics licensed the rights to the character and later acquired them outright. But there was a catch. By then, Marvel Comics had created their own character named Captain Marvel and had secured the trademark. This meant DC couldn't market their character under the original name. As a result, DC began promoting the character under the title Shazam, leading to some confusion, as many still referred to him as Captain Marvel. It wasn't until the New 52 reboot in 2012 that DC officially renamed the character Shazam within the comics continuity. Harley Quinn's origin in animation before comics. Now, let's delve into the madly intriguing world of Harley Quinn. One of DC's most popular characters today, Harley Quinn didn't start in the comics but made her first appearance in Batman the Animated Series in 1992. Created by Paul Dini and Bruce Timm, Harley was initially conceived as a one-off henchwoman for the Joker in the episode Joker's Favor. However, her colorful personality and quirky charm resonated with audiences, leading to her becoming a recurring character on the show. Given her popularity, Harley Quinn made her comic book debut in The Batman Adventures 12 in 1993, a comic series based on the animated show. She was later integrated into the main DC Universe continuity in 1999 with the Batman Harley Quinn one-shot. Harley's character has evolved significantly over the years. Originally portrayed as the Joker's sidekick and love interest, often enduring an abusive relationship, she eventually broke free to become an independent anti-heroine. Her standalone comics, like Harley Quinn Vol. 2, showcase her adventures outside of the Joker's shadow, teaming up with characters like Poison Ivy and forming the Gotham City Sirens. Harley Quinn's journey from a supporting character in an animated series to a central figure in comics and movies is a testament to her unique appeal and the power of fan support. Martian Manhunter's love for Chocos, Oreos. Let's take a moment to appreciate Martian Manhunter, one of the most powerful yet underrated members of the Justice League. Also known as John Johns, he's a shape-shifting alien from Mars with a plethora of abilities. But did you know he has a sweet tooth for Chocos? DC's version of Oreos? This amusing trait was introduced in the late 1980s and early 1990s in the Justice League International comics. Writers Keith Giffen and J.M. DeMatteis added a quirky side to Martian Manhunter by giving him an obsession with Chocos after discovering them on Earth. His love for these cookies adds a humorous and endearing element to his character. In one storyline, his addiction becomes so intense that when he's deprived of them, he undergoes withdrawal symptoms, showcasing just how much he adores them. In the JLA series, there's even a plot where villains exploit his weakness for Chocos. It's a fun contrast to his usually stoic and serious demeanor. Martian Manhunter's affection for Earth's snacks highlights the theme of finding comfort in small pleasures, even for a powerful alien struggling to fit into a new world. So the next time you reach for an Oreo, think of John Johns and his delightful quirk, the mystery surrounding the Joker's true identity. Finally, let's delve into the enigmatic enigma of Gotham City, the Joker. As Batman's arch-nemesis, the Joker is one of the most iconic villains in all of fiction. But despite his notoriety, his true identity has remained a mystery throughout most of his history. Various origin stories have been hinted at, but none are definitive. In Batman, The Killing Joke by Alan Moore, one of the most famous takes, the Joker is depicted as a failed comedian who becomes the Red Hood before transforming into the Joker after a chemical accident. However, even in that story, the Joker admits that if he has a past, he prefers it to be multiple choice. The lack of a concrete backstory enhances the Joker's character, making him an unpredictable and chaotic force. In the recent Three Jokers storyline, it's revealed that there may have been multiple Jokers over time. In the 2016 Justice League No. 50, Batman sits on the Mobius chair and asks for the Joker's real name. The answer shocks him, but the reader isn't privy to it. The Joker's mysterious identity invites endless speculation and interpretations, allowing each new writer or actor to bring their own twist to the character. It's part of what makes him such an enduring and fascinating villain. After all, sometimes the greatest mysteries are the ones that are never fully solved.